to it.
Okay. And I had a call with Meta. Meta called me because they reached out and they know that I have the Meta glasses and I don't really don't use them. And they're saying, Eric, we're pushing the algorithm for anybody that uses the Meta glasses.
Smart.
You post it, so they're following me right now to see if I can push out reels through mine.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I gotta go get mine. I left mine there. I bought mine. I have the first Meta.
The first ones.
So I have to, but they're in Vegas.
These are the Ray-Bans. Now they have one Oakley. I'm on, so check Facebook, Instagram. Instagram isn't on. So last time I had an issue with Instagram too, I had to go on here. That's why I brought it. Facebook Live. Okay.
We live on Facebook.
We're live on Facebook. Okay. How about TikTok? Yeah,
Jesus.
I know, right? It's loud.
You're live on TikTok.
We live on TikTok.
We're live on TikTok, and we're gonna be live on Instagram in a minute.
It's too close. You can see part of it here.
What about here?
Okay.
No, I can't see you.
Okay.
You're not in the picture.
So,
Where's TikTok? Here?
yeah, TikTok is here.
This one?
Yeah.
Well, you can't be seen.
How is that?
So look, what's going on at home with Rich? What's popping? All right, so why is this? Hold on, let me pick the. This needs to be landscape. 1 second, because it's on here. 1 second. There you go. Did it change? Sometimes it's a little delayed. Yeah. We can pop it here.
You got a good setup here. You got this.
Bro, you know what it is? For those of you guys who don't, what's going on? David Villar, Davidcito, it's Garrett. What's popping? How are you?
Mix this here.
It's what?
It's still running.
TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. We're not live on TikTok here, guys. Wait a minute.
We're live, but we're cut off. We're live. Do me a favor. Log out, and log back in TikTok.
Yeah, maybe it resets once you log out.
Because we're landscape here, so we should be fine.
Don't go nowhere.
The real Mark Days. What's going on? For those of you guys who are joining.
Yes, it's a little delayed.
Okay.
But is it now landscape?
Let me see how it looks on TikTok. Dame ver. Turn it around, but let me see. That's fine.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
I'm not that cute anyway, so I don't have to be all.
What about Instagram? Instagram?
yeah,
That's
I'm
Instagram
on
right here. So here we got a good
So we're
view.
good here on Instagram. Okay. So listen, we're gonna go off the cuff.
I like it.
We have some, cool questions, but we've done a million of these, Hugo. So,
I'm not worried.
but
I don't even like to know the questions. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know why? Because you have time to think about it, and you're not gonna be sincere. I think a question's a question, and you have to be prepared to answer it.
yeah,
Somebody that wants to do business with me is not gonna send me free questions.
yeah,
They're not gonna be like, oh, let me pre-send him the questions. No, let me get him on the phone because his body language and everything he does will be important to the experience of what I want to know about the company.
And people love realness, right? And this is one of the reasons why
I've gone viral because of it.
You've gone viral, right? Just being authentic.
I think there's a value in that. I think people don't understand it yet. I think people have this thing like, you know how Instagram uses, oh, I just got a Bentley or I got a Bugatti. That stuff is cool. I get it. It looks really cool. It's not authentic. The average person is not worried about a Bentley. It's worried how to get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you want to be authentic, make it make sense for the people that don't have Bentley money.
Yeah.
Real entrepreneurs don't have Bentley money.
Yeah. And guys, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get started again. We're live with vacuum cleaners in the background.
We can't do nothing about that.
Can't do nothing about that. But we're here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, right? One of the hot spots in the East Coast. And I decided to do this live with Eric and friends, and Hugh and I were talking. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself in a minute. Podcasts are fantastic, right? It's a great way to get educated, get new information. But what's new, right? It's these live streams. You have these young kids, going on live, building a great community, and it's not edited, right? So podcasts can be overly edited. And Hugo was just talking about that he went viral multiple times because he's real and authentic. And I have a stutter, right? I don't speak perfectly, but I'd rather come on here and go into the communities and speak to people that are really making an impact and doing some really cool shit, right? And you know, when I thought about this idea, Hugo's one of the first people that I thought about because you're going to hear his story today, and you're going to see how dynamic he is. So without further ado, I want to recognize, or want to introduce rather, Hugo Sanchez, who's not only a friend of mine, he's not only the CEO of Modi app, which is an exciting app, and we're gonna get into that. He's an entrepreneur, restaurateur. He's done many things in his business. If you follow him, and he'll give you his Instagram handles, and I'll tag him as well. He's gone viral multiple times over in some really cool podcasts and clips and pages because of his authenticity. And he's met some really cool people. He was just telling me he was just at the White House correspondent dinner. I'll let him get into that. But that's how.
Now, we're not doing politics today. We're
Not
going to move
politics,
past that.
Move past that. But the fact is that he's out there. He is outside, right? So without further ado, I want to introduce Hugo. Hugo, can you tell the viewers, and for those who are going to come back later and watch the whole video on YouTube, a little bit about yourself, a little about what we're doing and what you're trying to accomplish?
How you doing, guys? My name is Hugo Sanchez, and I am the CEO and co-founder of an app called Modi. And you're like, okay, what's Modi? There's a million apps out there. Modi is a video platform, video to payment. And you're like, okay, I get it, video to payment. What we've done different on Modi, and I want you guys to understand this so you don't say, oh, this is just another app. There are 4 companies in the world that were built independently. And when I say this, I want you to understand why they're fragmented. When you look at messaging, it was just designed to send messages, and now they're upgraded with pictures, videos, and photos. When you look at emails, they were designed to send emails back and forth, and that's pretty much it, in documents. When you look at FaceTime, it was for video. When you look at payments, designed for payment. Modi's all of them. It does all those things in one place, not fragmented in a sense where you're like, I got to send him a calendar, then I got to send him a Zoom or Teams or whatever that is, and then a payment. No, Modi's all that in one. And what makes Modi special is that it lets take you entrepreneur guys, whether you have 200 followers or 10 million, is actually communicate business in a real meaningful way. When you record video, it records directly to your phone. When you get payment, it gets directly paid to you. So when you ask what's Modi, it's in an all-in-one solution business built for people. So that's Modi. It's a business app built for people to be able to use it.
And I think this is super important, right? And I want to talk about how you got here to this app, right? What you did before, but super important because everybody's on social media, and they recognize that they have to build their own brand. Whatever business that you're in, you're becoming your own brand, right? And you can, in essence, become your own ecosystem and use your experience and your expertise to not only help people find solutions to problems that they may have, but also make a living off of it, earn money off of it. We were just talking about, you know, if you are a teacher and you wanna,
You can use Modi.
you can use Modi and you can, you know, get paid direct from tutoring live, right?
And monetize directly with the student, doing the student. Yeah, it's about that. And this is the thing, right? Everybody's a brand. If you're a singer, you're your brand. And it doesn't matter how good you sing, you still need a community.
Yep.
If you're a mentor, you still need a community. And that community, you know, this is the craziest part. When we did that before, it was all word of mouth. Like if you knew a psychiatrist, be like, oh, I know somebody I can recommend to. It's no longer that way. It's social media. The most famous people are the best people that have LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, they're on all platforms. Why? Because that's your new media. That is your new channel. It tells you who you are and lets people make a decision whether they want to work with you or not because they can see you. That was not the case before. It just was not. Before, you took a shot in the dark or somebody recommended somebody. You are definitely your own product. And if people don't know you, people don't hire you. It's just simple.
It's an all-in-one, right? And and you know, I remember when we met, you were talking about a gentleman that makes a killing on this app, being a Santa Claus, right? So like tell us, because I think that was super you know, smart and super important, because this is just an example of how you can actually, you know, build a community and monetize from
So
it.
look how interesting that is, right? He was a Santa Claus, and when I say he really looks like Santa Claus, he really looks. So he charges about $125 for 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes.
So during the end of November to the first week of January is go time. We're talking about 300 to 400 calls, and they're only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And what the call provides you to do, it's a video call, what Modi does.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to get paid, what Modi does.
Yep.
He wants to record the phone call to send him the video, which he no longer has to do because they're recording the video and they're getting it direct. We have no watermark, so the video looks like a FaceTime experience, a real good call, no watermarks on it. So for him, it was a calendar, then it was Zoom or Teams, and then 7 different payment systems. This made sense to him.
Yeah.
But also bring new customers that were like, okay, I don't got to go to his website. I don't got to do this. And the other industry that's doing really well on Modi, credit repair guys. Because they used to tell me that the problem was that people didn't have a problem paying $100 for the first call to go over your credit, but to commit, whether it was $1,500, $2,500 for the repair, the lead got cold once they hung up. But with Modi, they're actually for a deposit, $250, $300 up front, typing it on the call, getting the deposit, the commitment's all in now.
So whether you're a Santa Claus wishing, telling kids to be good or they're gonna get put on the naughty list, because that's worth $125 for a 10-minute call for me, right? For my kids. Whether it's a credit repair person counseling people, charging for their time, whether it's a music artist or somebody in the music industry teaching people about game, right? Because a lot of times, right, you're getting paid for your expertise, the time that you put in, right? So this is an amazing app.
Life experience. You're getting paid for life experience, things that you learn through life that are now meaningful and profitable.
Yeah.
If you're a teacher and you retired, you're not gonna make it these days. Now with this type of economy. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to be able at bare minimum say, can I make it? Can I create money without leaving this house? I am retired. I do not want to walk out.
Yeah.
That's what Modi does. And you may think, oh, I'm already using another platform. First, how much they're charging you, because we only charge 15%.
Yeah.
Is it all built in one solution where the client's not feeling like he's doing too many steps?
Yeah.
And that's the goal. Look, you have a daughter that's an artist, right?
Yeah.
How many DMs does she get? How many people? She can't talk to everybody. It's not that she's being rude. It's not. Time is money. Time is the one thing in life we're not going to get back. But if people pay you for that time, then they show that they respect you.
Yeah.
She can't have her mind picked by 30 coming up stars. I get it. They all want to pick her mind.
Yeah.
But she's focused on her industry also.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
And listen, I mean, here's the thing, right? As you build a new community, you can start, like, you can set the price based on the demand, right? So the thing is that, hey, you start today, you're trying to build a community. It could be you can charge $10 for 10 minutes, right? Or a half an hour or whatever. But as you build a community and as your demand grows, you can set that price because you built that, right? Which is pretty cool. Now, let me ask you this, right? Because I think this is a revolutionary app and it's an all-in-one. I want to talk about the people that you met. You've been in some rooms with some really high-powered. We'll get to that in a minute. But before Modi, before you decided that this was going to be the next chapter of your life, you go, what lead us up to here? What has been your history? How did you get to Modi app? What was your background? What were you doing before Modi app?
So here's the funny thing that a lot of people don't understand. Before Modi, I was in the dry cleaning business. Before the dry cleaning business, I was a developer. And before that, I got caught up in a little mistake in my life. I was taking care of that. But the process and the journey, right? When we get dressed in the morning, we have a direction of what we're doing if we have a job and all that.
Yeah.
Not having directions kind of makes you want to sit up and be like, okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there, and my first job was in construction, and I was a plumber's helper. And I was like, this can't be it. This is not going to be it. I'm a lot smarter than this.
Yeah.
And then my break came in. The developer of the building that owned the building brought me as a project manager. Now I'm the guy making $1 million a year. I'm running everything. And then as that went on 5 or 6, 7 years, I was, what's next for Hugo? I remember taking suits to the cleaners and I was saying, damn, this shit is kind of high price. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I remember asking questions and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a factory and I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And I took a leap of faith with my wife at the time and I was like, we're going to buy a bunch of, and I wound up owning a dozen of them.
A dozen dry cleaners.
With, different people, like partners with him, partners with him.
Got it.
And then I'm doing wholesale to all of them.
Okay.
And that's when the money came in. But then again, and this is how life is, we pivot again when
Yeah.
it's just not enough.
Yeah.
And you know, you do it as a developer, real estate, and all that. You yourself says, I'm changing. You know, maybe I'm going to concentrate more on my kids. I'm in a good place right now. Things are moving. I need to pivot to something that I'm going to enjoy. I pivoted. But when I made that pivot as an entrepreneur, I made the decision to understand this, where I came from, where I'm stepping into, and how long this could be before I see a dime. In my mind, I put 10 years. In my mind, I said, if I jump into doing this, it could be 10 years before I even see a nickel.
Yeah.
Am I prepared for this? Nobody's prepared for 10 years.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think you're prepared, but the money runs out and you have to
Sacrifice.
raise money. You have to
Sacrifice.
raise money and sacrifice, right? And all these things that you be like, damn,
Yeah.
this is tough.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand what's more important than this. Being Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Black, we are 70% of the world's population, and we're also the consumers, we're not the owners.
Yeah.
And how scary is that?
Yeah.
We're the biggest consumer on Amazon. We're the biggest consumer on you name it, Uber, DoorDash. But we don't own none of them. Don't you find that a little out of place?
Here's the thing: you're in this tech space, right? And um, there's people, right? A lot of these tech companies, these startups, they don't look like you and I, right?
Absolutely not.
So when you go over to Silicon Valley and you you have this old boys network and they have money that's readily accessible, it doesn't necessarily mean that their ideas are better. It means that they have access to capital.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. A lot of people don't understand this.
Yeah.
Having an idea and having access to money,
Yeah.
sometimes you better having the access to money.
Yeah.
Because you could buy a bunch of ideas.
Correct.
But when you're the one with the idea,
Yeah.
the access to money wants to see how quick we can sell it.
Yeah.
Their goal is, if I put my money in this set,
Yeah.
can we dump it in 36 months for 10
Yeah.
times or 100 times
Yeah.
what I gave you? And look, in their defense, it's a business.
Yeah.
They didn't get in here to marry you.
Yeah.
They got in here because they think you have something that could go global.
Yeah.
But they want to know an exit strategy.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, they'll have it for you.
Yeah.
Because they want out as quickly as possible. And they're into the money, you're into the dream. So there's kind of a disconnection there. But you look at a company like Stripe, right? They're private.
Yeah.
What Stripe does allows their shareholders to sell their shares once a year.
Mm.
So they're never going to go public
Yeah.
because they figured out to say, if you want out,
Yeah.
this year we're high at this, you could get good money for your shares. And that's a good way to do it. But when it comes to us having tech Hispanics, we have to be clear on this, that one, if we don't have relationships like you, and it wasn't like you introduced me to NARAP
Yeah.
and then had me going to these events and speaking, there's no way to grow because you came with a built-in community and say, Hugo, I have a Latino community that I could give you access to.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You had it built into and you created that. You were president, and then you once you retired, you moved on, but you already know 200 or 300 people.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You know, I mean, the fact is that, right, you saw that there was a gap. There was something that was needed in this marketplace, right? And with the pandemic and whatnot, right, Zoom got big, right? And FaceTime is something that these young kids, that's all they're doing is FaceTime. That's how they're communicating, right? Payments, you have all these kinds of payments that people are doing. So what happens is that you said, I want to create a one-stop shop. I'm going to create an all-in-one because you have, instead of having 4, 5, 6 different apps, you can do everything in this one app.
Do you think that, so we're building a live on Modi. You think that I want to go on Instagram doing your live because you can't do it on Modi? When you got on Modi, you could sell a ticket. You can't sell a ticket on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can't sell a ticket on Zoom.
Yeah.
You can't sell a ticket on Teams.
Yeah.
Pick the platform. You cannot sell a ticket. And Modi's going to be one of the first platforms that allows you to sell a course, and people could go on live and sell and buy a ticket and say, oh, I want to stay in today for the hour, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to know what he's teaching.
So now, right, so you guys can, right now while you're looking at this, and I'm going to post it, you guys could download Modi, right? Download Modi. Now,
MOTI.
MOTI. How many active users do you currently have right now, and where do you foresee it going to?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it got to be somewhere in the 30,000. Under 30,000. Our goal is, so here's the thing that we don't want people to get confused and think that at some point we're going to be like an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
No, we're not. That's not what we are.
Yeah.
When the OnlyFans was created, it was for celebrities that actually had music and stuff that they wanted to post for their fans.
Yeah.
And they were doing that for their fans.
1 second. I'm just trying to be connected because they're saying that we lost audio and on Instagram only. So let me just make sure. So no, I think is this. I'm sorry.
Can you hear us now, God? Can you hear us now?
Instagram.
Can you
guys
hear
hear
us?
us? Let me just take my glasses out because I think that it switched from the glasses to mine. So just make sure. Can you go on Instagram, babe? Just check to see that the audio's on.
We're still live, people. Don't go nowhere.
No more live. Okay, logged out and back in. Still silent. All right, hold on. All right, one second. You don't hear us? You don't hear us on Instagram? Yeah, we're on Instagram.
Oh, we're live on Instagram here.
I don't see you.
Yeah, I'm live. People are saying right now that they can't hear us. Hold on. 1 second. Let me see. There you are. All right, make sure that this is working. Hold on.
Can you hear us yet, guys?
1 second.
Can you hear us yet? Can you hear me now? I feel like the AT&T
I'm
commercial.
connected. All right, hold on. Make sure. Guys, can you hear us now? K. Lewis. People were logging in, logging out because they couldn't hear us. We lost audio.
Damn it. So I don't know if they hear us.
Can you guys hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Let us know. Babe, can you hear us or no? All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna log out. We're gonna log back in.
Okay, we're gonna log back in.
We're gonna log back in on Instagram. All right, live. All right. See if we're good to go. So we're now live. So see if we can hear us now on live on Instagram. We lost some viewers.
Can you hear us, guys?
Hey, insurance from Naomi, can you hear? Okay, we're good to go.
We're back.
All right, we're back. So thank you for letting us know, insurance. Thank you, Naomi. So we were talking about the Modi app, right? I want you guys to download it because it's an all-encompassing app, right? So the question that I had, Hugo, is how many active users do you have right now on Modi, and where do you envision it to be?
We're thinking the next 36 months.
Yeah.
We're thinking we'll have. So I have something I can't announce yet, but I have a big deal going down. When I close it, it's not if. When I close it, which we're days away from, we're going to be hoping to bring in over 1 million users in the next 36 months. It's not about. So I just want you to think about this, guys. This is not Instagram. It's not about us having 50 million users. That's not how the app works. The app works is that every one merchant has his customers already. So if Everett's on there, Everett has 15, 20 customers. Another person has 10 customers. So it's about having 100,000 merchants or $1 million merchants. Everybody else is a consumer to the merchants. So when I say we're looking for 1 million merchants, we're talking about tutoring, telemedicine, law, coaching, mentoring, live streaming, giving courses. That's when we say we want to get 1 million of multiple different industries. I'm talking about the merchants, not about having 100 million downloads. Those are useless. So understand the difference that we're looking for 1 million merchants. The merchants already have the clients.
So now, right, what's the difference in, so let's say, because like the possibilities are endless here for you to grow your brand, grow a community, earn through Moti, right, through Moti. What's the difference, like, let's say, for example, I'm a therapist, and I'm logging on part-time to BetterHelp.com, right, app. I'm charging for my time to BetterHelp. What percentage does BetterHelp take from the merchants, and how is Modi better than like a BetterHelp.com, right, or like telemedicine, which is continuing to grow in popularity, or Wisent, where you can actually hire tutors. So what's the difference between those apps?
I'll give you. So Wise is private also. Wise is a private app.
Yeah.
When you look at Wisent, they take 25%. We take 15.
25. So you're already earning 10% just by switching
right.
to Modi.
They pay bi-weekly. But also,
and how does Modi pay?
Modi, you get paid directly to your account.
Instantaneously.
Well, when Stripe releases, but Stripe pays you directly. It doesn't go to us, and then we make a check and pay you. We don't owe your money. We don't have control. It's you and Stripe.
So it's faster money, bigger percentage.
But here goes the trick. When you download Wise in the app, right? Yeah. It's super cool. It's clean. It looks like Modi. It has messaging, payment, and calendar.
Yeah.
You know what? I missed that, right? Video. Now they send you a link to a video, and then that video, I don't think they own it. and then it goes to somewhere else, and they keep it. On Modi, you have access to the video. On Modi, you're your own boss. So technically, when you're on Wizen or you're on other apps, they control everything. On Modi, you control everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you're on, if whether it's Wizen or what's the other app you said?
Better help. Better help.
Better Health, right?
Yeah.
They keep everything. They hold all that. You're just picking up the phone.
Got it.
On Modi, you're controlling all that. Transactions, financials, more.
So you're your own. So look, it sounds like
you having your own app.
it sounds like you have more control with Modi. Like you're more of a hired like partner to these other apps, and over here is like you can take control of your own business.
Yeah. So think about this, right? If you're on, I'll give you. We'll use Better Health, right?
Yeah.
They have a set price for you, right?
Yeah.
When you go on there, they're not going to give you a different price. It's the same price for everybody, right? On Modi, you could change the price. If I think that the work with you is a little more complicated, I could change my price and it's just fine.
Yeah.
I control the price. You won't control it on Health first. You're controlled once you set your price on Wizen, that's it. You're locked in.
Yeah.
That's your price. You can't change it today, 40, 50. You could do that on Modi. Today you could charge $50, but tomorrow you could run a special for $30.
So you can change it. So wow. Yeah. So you are your own business owner managing your commerce through one app. Right?
And that's the thing, right? Think about Modi is like if you own the app because it allows so many industries.
Yeah.
And you have your own clients.
Yeah.
That we're not in the way. We're not social media. We can't throw you off Modi.
Yeah.
Because technically, what problem would you have if you're only dealing with your clients?
Yeah.
Modi has reviews. If you give a bad experience, a customer could write a review.
They're gonna see that.
Yeah, you can't hide that. So it is your platform. It is your app. You own it. Do the right thing so you can stay in business.
Guys, if you guys are experts in your field, right, and you feel like your expertise and your advice and your time is valuable, as you should, right? Modi is a great way to continue to build that business, that community, build your the earnings potential, right? Like it's limitless. Right now, like what's the hot topic? Like right now, we're talking about peptides, right?
They could do that tomorrow.
Hormone replacement therapy, TRT.
You could
right?
do that tomorrow.
So what happens is that if you know about this, if you're a trainer, if you're a clinician, if you're a doctor, right? People want to learn about that. And right now, a lot of people, what they're doing is they ask ChatGPT, they ask Claude, which is fantastic. However, there's nothing that replaces having a conversation with somebody live, asking questions live, right? Going through, because you have to, because those AI units are prompt based.
Those are prompt. Well, here's the scary to that, right? As humans, how we are, we're never gonna trust. If we access information, when we use ChatGPT and Claude, when we access all that, we access information, but it doesn't mean we take it.
Yeah,
that's the difference. When I speak to my doctor on video, I take his. Because it's a human being. I can tell by his reactions and the way he's talking to me. There's a level of comfortability. There are so many things that AI won't be able to replace because of human behavior. We are just human and we don't trust everything. And we're not going to trust ChatGPT to tell me to take 6 Tylenols. Because I took a picture of the label and sent it to them, and he says, "You'll be fine." I'm not doing that. I want the doctor to tell me take 6 Tylenols. So I think that barrier of human beings and human interaction to video, they're not in danger of AI. Now, AI is still a great tool to take notes, calendar, absolutely. But it will not make the decision baser when you're speaking to a doctor. It's going to be you and that doctor because you're going to want accountability, a human accountability issue. And that's what I think Modi is great at. It's a human connection directly to you. And understand this, that you as a person that's been a broker and dealt with people, have you ever missed a call that you paid for?
No.
People don't miss a call they paid for.
Never.
If you pay your lawyer, you will be on time for that call.
Time.
You're not even going to ask foolish questions because you're paying for foolishness.
Yeah.
So people that pay for your time show up because they paid for it.
Yeah, and like just listen, I have events all the time, right? And when it's a free event, like you gotta say, okay, well, X amount of people won't even show up because it's free. But when you say, hey, even if it's $15, $10, right? People are gonna show up because they invested in it.
They're paid. Right?
They're paid. And it's important. And I just really feel like here, for those of you guys that are watching live, right? I'm pretty sure that whether you can monetize from it or whether you can monetize from it, or whether you know people, creators that can build a business and build a community to monetize from it, like you have to check out Modi app. Right? Yeah, and listen. Speaking of which, right, you can go on the Modi app right now, download it, and you can send a message to Hugo
And then we'll do a pay call.
and we do a call.
Pay call. I will pay them for their time. I want them to understand that once they get on a Modi and they do a pro account, your time just became valuable for me, and I will pay you for your time to jump on a call, and I will teach you how to use the platform. Understand this: that Modi is the only platform right now that's not fragmented. We're not just messaging. We're not calendar. We're not just video. We're not just payment. We're all of them. We're not a fragmented product. And as we build to become a global product, do you know that right now you can sign up on Modi? If let's say I lived in the UK, you know their email is .uk, HugoSanchez.uk. I can sign up tomorrow. Modi takes 50 different universal emails from around the world because Stripe is in those countries. So whatever country Stripe's in, you can sign up to Modi. So this is just not. It's about how your business looks in the next 5 years. You're not signing up to Modi today because it solves everything today for you. But how is your business going to run in the next 5 years when Modi has live streaming, a live feed, crypto payments, subscription base? Don't you want all those things in your business? But don't you want it all in one place?
Yes.
And that's what Modi does different. My job as the CEO is to build. So we build 80% of the platform, and I want the world to understand this. A developer or co-founder, we build 80% of the product. The other 20% comes from you guys biting us and say, hey, this product is great, but you know a tool that we use a lot in our industry is this. And we navigate through that and add the tools that we think are going to be super meaningful to Modi. So we're very careful about building. It's not about us building emojis or filters. Will we have filters one day? Probably not. We want to keep Modi authentic, but that's not our goal. For us to have filters first, we rather have crypto payments. You know, we're very strategic about the tools we put because we want tools that work, that don't look cool. We're not into cool tools. We're into tools that you're going to use and say, oh, I needed that. So that's why when you're building a product, 80% could be your idea, but let the other 20% come from the users. They're going to tell you what's going to give them the best experience ever. So as a founder, you also got to listen to the users. That's the most important thing.
Listen, and again, I'm gonna tag Hugo on all these videos, these clips, and when we post it on YouTube. But you have to realize, right? Like you gotta look at Hugo's profile, right? Like we're talking about, you see how he lights up talking about his baby, this chat, right? But there's so many eyes on this chat, right? You got so many high-powered individuals. Like every time I talk to you, you just bring like, yeah, this person's following me. This person's. It's insane, right? And that is social proofing because when you go to Hugo's page and you see the views and some of these viral videos and you see some of the pictures and the people that has been meeting, his app is making noise, right? His app is making noise. So when you have, I don't know, who's one of the like I don't want to. I know you don't like to throw names out there and whatever, but who's one of the people that you met recently that loves this app, that talks to you about the app? Like who? Throw some names out there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So here, I'll give you two things that are really great that just happened. That way I don't throw people's name in the box. Okay. I just got called for to do a meeting at Rivian, the electric car.
Yeah.
They like the brand, they love Modi, they love my entrepreneurs. They say, hey, come down. Let's see if we can figure out some collaboration so you can have an event in our space.
That's so dope. Okay.
This is the one I didn't expect, which is really cool. There's a new store on 42nd Street. It's called See You Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a version of what Sharper Image is doing, but Sharper Image failed because the technology wasn't there. This company won't fail. We have too much technology built faster. The CEO reached out to me and they said, hey, we love your content. We love your brand. Let's jump on a call. Let's see if we can figure out a collaboration. So I think it's important also as a CEO and a founder that once your brand gets noticed and the right people are talking about it and you have a positive review, brands will start reaching out to you and say, hey, how can we do something together? You know, managers will start reaching out to you and say, hey, how would this work if I bring my artist on? You know, how can we navigate through this together so they have the best result? So my idea as a founder also and the CEO is navigate through these artists, understand that these artists sometimes, and not to say that the artists sometimes don't have more than 10 minutes on a call. They're not designed mentally that way. They're always creating. So when you ask them for an hour on a phone call, you better off shooting them.
Yeah.
They don't have an hour.
They don't have
Their mind is not,
Yeah.
it's not geared for an hour, but it is geared for a 10, 15-minute call. And what if you could?
Yeah.
What if you could?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I can tell you right now that, in the mortgage industry and with the experience that we have, right, there's a lot of people that can charge for their time and guide you in the right direction, which can save you potentially thousands of dollars down the road if you get guided correctly, right?
Yeah.
We have, like we mentioned earlier, my daughter's in the music space. She's an artist, right? And she's been doing this for a long time. She's been on, television commercials, not just creating music. She could go on this app and charge for her time because there's some young people that are coming on here that say, hey, after all these years, what keeps you going? What's one of the first things that I got to do? How do you register a song? What do you got to do? You got to go ASCAP. You got to do BMI. You got to do all these kinds of things. So the fact of the matter is, there's so much information out there that if your information is valuable, you should be able to come on here and start monetizing, right? Monetizing and tell other people about it, because this is a community that we're building to all grow together, right?
I'll give you a prime example, right? When you tell me, listen, Hugo, give me a couple of people that are on the app, right?
Yeah.
You got David Meltzer, CEO and co-founder of the Napoleon Hill Institute.
Yeah.
We're now going to be signing all those coaches on Modi.
Wow.
And this is the Napoleon
That's
Hill,
big.
the oldest,
Biggest
since 1967.
big. Wow. Okay.
When you talk, who else was I was able to get Russell Peters on the app.
Russell Peters, yeah.
I was able to get Dash Polanka, the actress.
Yeah.
I was able to get Gary Vee. Like,
Yeah.
it's not impossible. There are challenges, but you have to navigate
You have
and
to
say,
navigate.
you need this, guess what, I need that.
The thing is that you guys, all these people that you mentioned, right? They're not gonna just download something just to download
No.
as a favor. They see the potential. And listen, my daughter's still a developing artist, and she has some major people looking at it. When the time is right, and obviously you're working and you're grinding and you're building this app, and you were just showing me some things that are different now that you've modified to improve the app than when it was a year ago, because you're always constantly innovating and improving.
We're evolving.
And when you do that on a passion project like this for you, right, that's really going to solve a lot of problems. You have these big names that are going to come in, and it's just going to be like it's you've been grinding, but you're at that level right now, Hugo, where it's just going to be like a few. It's like what's that? There's a book called 3 Feet from Gold.
That's where I'm at right
So
now.
you're 3 feet from gold, bro.
That's where I'm at.
Because you have all these eyes that are looking at it, and it's just you're always constantly working and improving on it. It's just gonna be one of those things that just skyrocket. So, right, discover it here today. Download it, become that user, monetize it, schedule a call with Hugo so that way he can walk you through the app. Right?
Let me pay you. Let me pay you to talk to me.
Who else? Who else is gonna pay you? Because he believes in it so much that he knows that once you have that call and you know how user friendly it is,
They're not getting off. That once they see
right,
it,
you're gonna be hooked.
I'm going to pay you to call you. How's that? Like, tell me what CEO is that confident that I guarantee you that once I pay you for a call, you're never going to be the same. You're going to say, where's Modi been my whole life? And this is the thing you have to understand. Modi was created when I was married to my wife, and we had this idea. We had a chain of dry cleaners, and you know, imagine this table being full of glass, and she comes in one day, and you just throw everything off the table and say, I have a new idea. After putting all this china up, everything's out. We started from scratch, and you know, and then she becomes to carry the company because she's the one with the actual job, the actual business. This is serious. Like when you make the decision, I'm gonna back my daughter.
Yeah.
These are really big decisions that have to be made. Why? Because you believe in.
Yeah.
So it's not only it's from my ex-wife to my partners to my investors that believe in me and call me every day and say, yo, I'm just checking up on you. You've been too quiet this week. No, I'm quiet because I went to Washington, D.C. for the West press conference thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got there.
I'm glad you're safe when you're here.
Yeah, I got there Saturday morning at 6 a.m, did the whole thing, was back on the plane at 4 a.m, back over here to speak to 3 companies. This is not for the weak. And it's not for the weak when your family, your ex, your partner, they're the ones putting the money to say, you got to travel. Yeah. So you keep pushing.
And you've been, listen, every time I call you, we touch base. Like,
I'm on a plane.
You're somewhere.
Yeah, I'm on a plane.
And that just shows you that you don't have a set, like you have an operations team to make sure we Modi continues to operate more efficiently, faster, better. But you're out there, you're the face, right? And people invest in people, right?
That 100%. People do not invest in products; they invest in people. So if you think that just you build something, it's going to sell,
Yeah.
that was my first mistake.
Yeah.
Don't do that
Yeah.
because nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, everybody knows who I am. But understand this: people will not download your product, will
Yeah.
not buy it, will not look at it, will not even touch it unless they know the CEO and founder.
Yeah.
People invest in people, and they do not invest in products.
Yeah.
So don't confuse it. Like if I make it, they will come.
Yeah.
They will not.
Well, and I think that's the whole, when you're talking about venture capital, right? Venture capital, they look at the people behind it, right? You can have someone an amazing entrepreneur like you, that have the vision, the tenacity, right? They know that you're going to be grinding, so that way their money's safe, right? Because like I said, they invest in people. Right now, right, every once in a while you're gonna have a unicorn idea, but a unicorn idea won't go anywhere if you have a lazy person behind it.
No, because he thinks that it's gonna go. And here's the thing, for me, and this is not for everybody. If you went to MIT, Harvard, wherever you went to, and you're tied into Silicon Valley and you could get money, then don't do it the way I did it. I understood that I didn't come from that circle, and I'm not part of that circle of family money, family fund, and stuff like that. But that is not the way to raise money anymore. It doesn't matter. You could go crowdfunding. You could go on SPV, and you'll be like, "What's an SPV? It's a special purpose vehicle. It's a document that lets you get to 100 people to invest 10,000 a piece, and boom, there you go. You made 200 or 300K." But the idea is raising money today is not the way it was 20 years ago. There are different ways to do it. I went through SPV and using a safe, which is, it's a simple agreement for future equity. And I was able to raise $1.4 million that way. And now I'm raising an additional $2 million on a $20 million valuation with a 20% discount on the safe. So people need to understand that. I know traditionally you want a one lump sum. I want to walk to one guy and he's going to give me stop. That may take longer. And if he bites so much on the apple, he's going to take your company because he bit so hard in you. There's nothing left. But when you do crowdfunding, when a lot of people go, but what's a safe? It's a simple agreement for future equity, which means you're not giving equity. You're promising it when the company scales. When you do an SPV, it's to use somebody like, I say, Everett, put an SPV together, but you have a company, and I know you know at least 100 people that you could get at 20 grand for me and raise $2 million. You understand? Or 200,000 for me. How do we do this? Or how do we raise $2 million? And you go, okay, I'll put a document together, and all my people are going to come in at 20, but your cap table is going to look like one company invested. So an SPV helps you with your cap table. Also, it looks like one investment rather than 100 people.
Guys,
and these things need to be learned.
And this is experience. So here's the thing, right? I know we're talking about an app and what it does, but there's so many things about building a business that you went ahead and learned, because you didn't know this before you started Modi.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. And I think that this is a great segue, because we were talking about the app, but more so than anything, like in addition to how cool this app is, it's about mindset, right? And we started your introduction, the fact that you went through some hardship, you pivoted a couple times with being a developer on the laundromats, dry cleaners. Now this, right? So after going through that and after pivoting, right? What was it? What was a defining moment in your history that made you say, "I can do this. I can survive this. I got what it takes. I got the balls to take this challenge on"?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The people behind me.
Yeah.
There was a point, and even I remember I spoke to my ex-wife and I told her, "Yo, I'm tired. I was tired. I was beat up. And I remember her telling me, "Why? I got your back." I remember, and then I went home. I was so emotional only because she's my ex-wife. She don't have to tell me that. She can tell me, "Good luck with that."
Yeah.
When we're together, I supported you. I've been there. But for her telling me, "Why? If I got your back, I will never let you fall." And that pivoting moment told me, why would I even think about quitting when the people behind me are not quitting on me? And that made me so emotional, saying, I have a handful of investors and I got to 1.4 million, and they're calling me and checking up on me, and they're telling me, "Are you good? My ex-wife, do you need a an allowance monthly that I could give you to hold you?" They don't have to do this. But the belief in you, and they believe in you. And when you have somebody that believes in you, even if you don't believe in you, please start believing in yourself. Because at that point,
Yeah.
there's no reason with somebody that's not family to have more belief in you than you in yourself. You have to please take the moment and say, why does this person believe in me so much? And why am I so worried? I was
That-
able to balance that and say, as long as people believe in me, I'm going to keep going. And I'll keep going till people stop believing in me. But that has not stopped. It has scaled. And people have told me, I know you're going through it. But like you said, you're 3 feet away from goal. Don't quit now.
it's what you said is super important because you talk about this is the investment person, right? These venture capitalists, these people invest in the person, but then you're also talking about the people that you surround yourself with. You chose your ex partner and the family members is as important. If you're in a circle where people don't support you or cheer for you, what are you doing? You're in the wrong circle.
You know how hard this would be? I will tell you this how hard it is. If my wife now didn't like my ex-wife, that tells me she don't know what my ex-wife's done for me. That tells me I didn't do a good job explaining to my wife.
Yeah.
Do you understand that this woman, it's not about our relationship.
Yeah.
It's that she refuses to see me fail.
So
That's the difference.
listen, guys, you gotta choose your friend. Listen, you gotta evaluate the people in your life at different points, right? You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you have a brother or a sister and they're your blood, but they're not cheering for you, you gotta limit the time that you spend with them to Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. In the end, it's about the people, right, that support you, and we have to evaluate that. My wife and I were talking about that as far as who's in our circle and are they cheerleaders? Are they haters? So when you cultivate those people is when you can get to the next level. I have people like Hugo who I see, right, and we don't talk every day, but I see what he does and he inspires me, right? So the fact is that you gotta make sure that you connect with those people that are gonna help you get to the next level.
100%. And also, look, again, whether it's your current wife, ex-wife, I was in a baby shower 2 weeks ago. My daughter's pregnant. She's gonna have so she's about to have a baby girl next month.
What's her name?
My daughter's name is Kristen.
Kristen, shout out. Congratulations.
Yeah, she's about to have a little girl.
Beautiful.
So I go to the baby shower. My daughter's mother's there. I go with my wife, and my ex-wife shows up with her boyfriend to bring her a gift. And people's like, "Do you know you have 3 ex?" and what? And they're talking business together. It goes, yes, but I also have respect for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I know what all 3 of them have done in my life and what they've done for me.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem because my wife knows what my ex-wife brings to the table and what she brings as my partner.
Yeah.
She understands the difference.
Yeah.
That my wife respects me as a partner and believes in me. And her man is such a good man. My ex-wife, he's such a nice guy.
So Hugo, one of the things I want to ask you too, right? Because listen, in my world, you can call me self-employed, right?
That's what we go for.
I eat what I kill, right? The realtors that I work with, they eat what they kill. We're entrepreneurs in our own right. We're our own bosses, and you can feel like a king or queen at 9 a.m. and you can feel like shit at 2 p.m. You're going up and down, right? So this ain't for the faint of heart. And you mentioned so you talk about some big numbers. You're talking about $1.4 million raise, and I think I would be going crazy, right? How do you? So you have a lot of stress in building something that lasts and make a difference. How do you manage that? Like, what are some of the things that you do to keep you grounded?
To be honest, and this is gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
I tried and my wife does this. I take a lot of time to myself. Like, I don't need noise. I don't like noise around me. I don't like a bunch of people talking around me.
Okay.
If I'm in my room, believe it or not, and I'm going through my phone, so you have to be very methodical about this. If you're owning a tech or something, your phone is the most important tool. I'm very methodical. I'm going through my phone every day. Who did I miss? Who haven't reached out to? Who didn't I tell them that the app is updated? Who did I meet that I didn't follow back up? I'm very methodical. You'll be like, oh my God, he's going through this phone like he lost something.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. Because that one person you missed could have been in the back. Like, I went to the speak in the Bahamas, right? And this panel, this was so. It was Josh Powell from the Lakers, retired from the Lakers, 2 World Championship.
Yeah.
Now we talk on the phone every day. We became good friends.
Yeah.
The conference was designed around his church schedule because he goes to church 3 times a day. How cool is that?
Wow.
So when me and him got on a panel and we're talking to people, and people are talking about how do you raise money, and I'm talking to people how I did it. I'm not the expert, but I know how I raise money.
Yeah.
So I remember
people
this
are gonna learn from your wins and your mistakes too, right?
So there was this gentleman named Montino. He gets up and he starts going at me, asking questions, and I'm answering. And when I got off stage, he says, "I want to put 100,000 in your app. You can't right then, money wide in 24 hours." This was on the file, but money wide
because he knew he was testing you, and you already thought about all this. You've already answered it. So he said again, he invested in the person because you know your shit.
And this guy's a millionaire. He owns a bunch. And here's the craziest thing. Yeah. He just finished buying a chain of laundromats and cleaners. So the synergy after we're talking, and I said, I can help you with that. And he asked me, hey, you could help me. You could tell me the machines I need and stuff like that. So it was really great in that sense. Yeah. But the idea that he was going back and forth with me, and I was like, man, he's a little hostile. Yeah. Like, did I trigger him?
He was testing you.
He was triggered. So I answered everything. Yeah. But here's the thing. I told him, hey, when I get off stage, if you want, we could talk a little more. Because I honestly thought he just had a lot of questions and he wasn't buying it. Yeah. So I got off stage. He goes, no, listen, he goes, I do pretty well. I own almost a big piece of the island. I own tons of tech company. I own a medical company that I was trying to turn into an app. He says, I think we're going to be a good fit as partners. And he was like, let me just make you a check. And I went to the Bahamas because I was invited there to speak. Yeah. Never in my mind was I thought I was raising. But I always go with the mindset to raise.
Yeah, but that goes back to you being authentic, right? Because you were your authentic self out there. And listen, do you have a college education?
No, I didn't go to high school.
Right. So you who you are, you keep it real. People love realness and authenticity, right? And just the fact that, right, you didn't go to college to go to MIT and get connected to venture capital, but you look like us, like one of us, and you're out there grinding. People see that, right? And that's why you've gone viral several times over, right?
100%. But I would say one thing that people need to understand about being an entrepreneur is probably the hardest job in the world, and it has 9 days down and 1 day up. Understand that in whatever business you're in, and I'm not trying to put you down. I want you guys to understand this. Yeah. When speaking to an investor, please don't lie. When you lie to an investor, it's going to take them 2 minutes to find out and 1 minute to tell you no.
And you're done forever.
And you're done. Because the idea is you think he's not going to ask you analytics. You think he's not going to ask you questions that are verifiable. He's just going to tell you to print it out. Be honest with the investor because he needs to understand what he's climbing into, and he can help you better. Yeah. Like if I tell an investor I'm pre-revenue, but I'm built out, the question he's not going to ask me? How much money we're making. Because I answered it in the first conversation with pre-revenue. Yeah. If he asks me how many downloads, I can't say I have 200,000. You know why? Because he can ask me, can you give me a printout? Don't do that. Yeah. Understand, be clear of the vision, be clear of your conviction that you're all in no matter what. Make it make sense that if you're raising money, please don't go over there in a Rolex. That's some dumb shit. Because if you're asking for 100,000 and you got 15,000 on your wrist, that's kind of insulting. Yep. Be honest, be clear, stand your ground, know your worth, and understand that if he bites so big because you're desperate, you're probably gonna take your company, and you're not gonna have no say. So if you feel the bite is gonna be too big, do crowdfunding. Get a group of people, set up some dinners. You may cost you 10 grand, set up $1,000 dinners where you get 10, 20 people to come in at $2,000 a plate, tell them they're not buying into the dinner, they just put shares in your company, and then start there because every dinner that you have could be 50,000, 40,000 you raise. And you're going to hit your mark. It doesn't have to be a one check. Be creative. Create a dinner. Create an event. Create something that gives me enough room that I am a foot away from you to say, hey, you really didn't buy a ticket for my event. You bought shares in my company. So you're going to be issued a stock, or a safe in your email, whatever that is that you're offering. So when you convinced me to buy that $1,000 ticket, I didn't know I was getting so much value back. Get them involved. Get them to fall in love with the product. Be clear with the message. Be clear with the mission statement. Be clear with the next 5 years, and be clear to tell them what's going to make them profitable and what's an exit strategy. These things they're the five most fundamental questions they're going to ask you, and you need to know these answers. You can't have a different answer for different people. It's coffee. It's black. They get to put the milk, not you. But be that coffee. Be transparent. Be black. They're going to be able to handle it. But nobody wants to invest in a company that knows have a million pounds behind it. Don't do that. It's not. It's not a good way to raise money.
Gems, right? You will go and you will pay for this stuff. You will pay Hugo, right, to talk about his experience because that's what people, right? That's what people's work are is experience. So you don't have to make as many mistakes, right? So these are gems. It's almost like mic drop, right? I don't want to break this mic drop, right? And you mentioned something, right? And I don't. So we're at the end of April. I'm in a coaching program. I get coached by business coach, and we pick a book of the month. And this year's book was a book called A Coffee Bean, right? You mentioned coffee. The coffee's black. And I end with this, and then I ask you a couple more questions so we can. It's almost 5 o'clock. So the coffee bean, right? Pick it up. Great book. It's very. You can read it in an hour and a half. Really tiny book, but it's about right. Boiling water, right? If you put a carrot in boiling water, what does it do? It softens. Well, if you put an egg in boiling water, what does it do?
It hardens.
It hardens. So you have the same element in boiling water, two different reactions, right? Are you going to be the carrot that when the condition of boiling water, which is an extreme condition, are you going to soften, right? Are you going to avoid? Are you going to be hardened like an egg, and are you going to be hardened by these extreme conditions, or are you going to be the coffee bean? Because what does a coffee bean do? Well, when you put coffee bean in boiling water, it transforms the environment around it. It turns it into coffee. So instead of water transforming you into something, you as a coffee bean, you're transforming your environment. And I say this because it's a very powerful message. And when I meet somebody like you go, right? You go into your environment and you have an infectious energy, right? And you transform that. And you have people that have poured millions of dollars and they will continue to pour millions of dollars, and people are going to make millions of dollars in your app because of your infectious energy. And you, my boy, you're a coffee bean. You're a coffee bean, bro. Cafecito.
And another thing I would tell you this, right? And this is where it gets really, you have to be able to, please look in the mirror, check your body language and your face, right? You will walk into a lot of investors and the answer is no, not at this time. It is up to you to keep your composure and understand it's not a permanent no, it's not at this time. Please keep a smile, keep your composure. You only need one yes. It doesn't matter how many no's you get, but you only need one yes to get the wheel rolling. Be able to say, thank you. I'll reach out back to you when I'm a little further down the road. And would love for you to take another look when I'm a little further down. Keep that door open. Because today, it's a no. 2 years from now, that could be your lead investor for $10 million because now you're big. So be careful with leaving with a frown and getting desperate on the table. What is it that you don't understand? They understand. These are very smart investors, VCs, and they're very smart people. I'm not saying they get it right all the time, but they got it. You're just not right now. Look, I remember my first call for an investor. You know what was that? I was calling Dubai. Some type of, I don't know if he was a prince or something. I asked for $1 million. He starts at 50 million. That's all they do. So you understand? I got in the wrong cage.
That's another level.
I got it on the wrong bus. I have to get off. So I didn't have nothing that was 50 million to him right now. But again, he says, you're too small. But he says, as you go, reach back.
They're watching you. Right?
So it's funny, right? It's like,
but you know what? It's and I want you to leave the chat, right, with any parting words of wisdom. But if you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, right, you should get it before. Like most people, when they get that no, and a second no, and a third no, they give up. That's most people.
No, I've gone over 300 no's already.
But you know what? When it's in your blood and you believe in yourself, you're excited to get that no, because that no is gonna get you closer to that yes. It's gonna make.
Well, I'll give you one better. The person that gave you the no, he's a good person. You know why? He let you move on to the next person very quickly. You get a guy that told, give me a week, then give me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's a terrible person.
Yeah.
You don't
Keep
need
it
that.
moving.
You want the guy to sit in that room, tell you that chair, hey, it's good,
Yeah.
but you're not bringing revenue. I'm not ready yet. See me when you guys are revenue positive, and then I could refigure what do that. That's a good person because he's telling you the why the no, and he's opening the door for you to go to your next investor.
Yeah.
So as mad as you want to be, like, oh, it should have been a yes, my product is great. Learn the best skill to learn is how to take a no. If you know how to take a no, when that yes come, it'll feel regular. It'll be like, oh, okay.
Well, listen,
great.
that's another thing. My daughter, she was auditioning for all these things and having meetings, and there's always more no's, but it just takes 1 year to change your life. I want to leave this because we're about to wrap up. What words of wisdom, what advice do you want to leave the chat with? And I'm going to repost this on YouTube, and I'm going to be posting some clips. But what words of wisdom are you going to leave them with? And where can they find you? How can they reach out to you?
Okay, so first you can find me at Hugo, HUGOS.Moti, MOTI. That's my Instagram. I'm mostly on there, but you should really find me on Moti so we could do a paid call. I will leave you with 2 things my mentor told me. If you're 1,000 no's away from the 1 yes you needed, how quick would you get those no's, right? And I understand that you have a product and you're trying to get it out there and you're going to all these events and everything, but learn at these events that to be more interested than interesting. Because if you're interested in other people and what they're doing, they're gonna get interested in you. But if you're going there to sell your product and you're oblivious to the room, that doesn't work. Get to know people, see what they're doing. They're going to ask you. If I
interested and interesting.
Yeah. Because think about it. If I'm there to suffocate this room, I'm not even going to ask you, what do you do for a living? But if I ask you, what's your next question? What do I do for a living? The door is going to open for me. I just got to open yours first and say, hey, what do you do for a living? And then when you ask me, hey, what do you do? I'll be like, I do something that'd be great for your business.
Hence, you're a coffee bean, and you always change the environment that you step into.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yo, thank you for your time. I know you're extremely busy. You're going to be flying all over the country again, and I'm glad that I was able to catch you here in Williamsburg. Guys, I'm going to repost these clips. I'm going to tag them. Follow him. Download Moti app, right? And thank you guys. Listen, I just want to always make sure that I use my platform to listen. I do mortgage. What I do isn't sexy, but I always want to make sure that I highlight individuals that are doing some great things in the communities that we live, work, and serve in. Hugo, you're the man. I appreciate your time. God bless, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. All right, you're good. Hugo, man, you're a star, bro.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
So I don't know if you got to meet her. So Shelby's my ex-wife and my business.